This is about as like white people problems as it gets, I think. A Gwyneth Paltrow skiing related lawsuit.
And we got to hang out so much together this week, which has been such a nice pleasure.
Crazy, yes.
Right? Unusual. We exist outside of our respective boxes, and that is always nice. Yes, if you're looking for our John Wick Chapter 4 review, we did that last week. We'll have spoilers for you next week. We will have Dungeons and Dragons for you next week as well. So lots of stuff as this seemingly interminable month of March is finally ending. March has been a long and challenging one, but here we are. If you've not subscribed yet, though, we'd love to see you because as Alonso was mentioning, we have all kinds of good stuff for you between indies and blockbusters and stuff in between, and over at our Patreon, all kinds of goodies like Ted Lasso and Mandalorian. So we'd love to have you join our little community here of thoughtful, engaged folks who love movies.
And if not Patreon, at least subscribe to us here on YouTube.
Yeah, that's it. We're good stuff everywhere. So news, the big breaking news, of course, is the fact that Gwyneth Paltrow could be taking the witness stand right now as we speak.
This story does not make sense. I've read through it, and it's like, it's very much a he said, she said, where a retired optometrist, right, from Utah claims that she plowed into him on the ski resort and messed him up good. And she has countersued that, no, he actually plowed into her and made her take the rest of the day off from skiing. So I don't know what's going on.
Right. So this happened 7 years ago at Deer Valley, a really very fancy schmancy ski resort in Utah. And so, yeah, it depends on who was downhill. That's what they're trying to ascertain here. Each of them insists that they were the downhill skier, which means like if you're coming down the hill, you got to look out for folks in front of you and like be careful. Like they have the right of way. You've got to like not plow into them. So each of them insists that they were the one downhill.
The
and
one
they were
skied
the one
into, yes.
They were the one skied into, right. And so he has his family members have testified on his behalf saying that like there is definitely a difference in his demeanor, that he suffered not just physical injuries, but also mental, psychological ones, that, you know, it's changed his whole personality. He's not the man that he was. Meanwhile, she insists she was there with her instructor and they apologized and he was fine. And so they skied away. At first he was asking for like $3 million. And then now he's asking for like $300,000. And she has countersued him, just asking for legal fees and like $1 in damages. She has been in court every day in a variety of overpriced sweaters and aviator glasses. And she could be testifying today. So we might be in the middle of breaking news right now as we speak. I just keep hearing Gwyneth Paltrow ski crash trial, doo-dah in my head. Anyway.
This is about as like white people problems as it gets, I think. A Gwyneth Paltrow skiing related lawsuit.
Yes. Somebody testified that the optometrist can't enjoy wine tastings the way he used to. So anyway, very sad. If you're injured, it sucks. Getting injured skiing is not fun.
Yes. Right? I mean, I don't mean to minimize any of this.
Right. As I leave to go skiing with my family, I will keep all of this in mind. Skiing etiquette. I've never gotten
plow
injured
into
skiing.
anyone, blonde lady.
I will try not to. I try to be in my little zone there. More important breaking news is that Tommy Wiseau is back, baby. You can't keep him down. He has followed up the room. Finally, he has been threatening to make another movie. Auteur Tommy Wiseau has done it with a film called Big Shark.
Much of the trailer is devoted to boxing, surprisingly enough, but rest assured, there is a big shark.
Why do you want narrative logic from a Tommy Wiseau movie?
I don't. I would never demand such a thing from his vision. What is it? The Smiths who saying that joke isn't funny anymore? Like, are we still doing the Tommy Wiseau thing? I kind of feel like we have. He has milked that one for as far as it goes, but obviously that's all from one movie. So maybe this new movie will provide a whole new wave, a new generation, if you will, of Wiseauites to come out and see what he's up to. Yeah, okay.
Well, the whole thing with him, as you very well know, is that when The Room came out, he totally meant it. He meant it to be this like a gripping romantic drama thriller.
Yes,
people laughed
Tennessee
at it.
Williams, yeah.
Right. And then he pivoted and he's like, oh, it was meant to be a dark comedy all along. But now I feel like yes, the bit is old, but also he seems to be even further embracing the bit, because if you look at the trailer, the beginning of it is a whole bunch of extremely fake looking birds, like something out of Birdemic. And then the shark, the big fake shark that comes like plowing down the streets of the French Quarter, is like something out of Sharknado. Like it looks super cheesy.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I'm kind of shocked that he went with the sort of undersea monster movie, because that well is run dry from all of those. Is it Asylum that makes all of the Sharknado and, you know, Mega Octopus or whatever movies? Like I feel like that's a well-trod path. And usually I would expect that Tommy Wiseau would try for something fresh and different and bizarre. Like did you ever see his sitcom that was on Hulu for a while? It was very strange. It was the shape of a sitcom, but like made by an alien, in the way that much of his work often is. I think if there's a through line here. But the idea that he's doing a giant killer shark movie with cheesy special effects, it's like, yeah, Ian Ziering has already made 8 of those, and they've all aired on the USA Network or whatever.
Yikes. And then also, if you watch the trailer, it's a 2-minute long trailer, but literally the whole second half of it is an underwear commercial.
Yes, there's that too.
I was fully unaware that Tommy Wiseau had a side hustle selling boxer briefs. Did you know this?
I did not know that either, but apparently I seem to recall from reading The Disaster Artist, or rather listening to the book on tape, read by Greg Sestero, which I highly recommend. I think that part of his whole shadowy, where did his money come from past involves menswear. Like he had some kind of like fashion business line in something before becoming a filmmaker. So I guess he's always had one foot in textiles. I don't know.
Loungewear for vampires. Anyway, you can be sure, since we are serious film critics, that when Big Shark comes out, we are all over that. We will not leave a second of that for you to wonder about. We're going to give you a full and thorough report back on that when that happens.
Fine.
You know you want to see it.
I know. Look, I sat through Surfer Teen Confronts Fear. I'll watch anything.
Let's talk about other greats like Vertigo. So apparently Paramount is remaking Vertigo with Robert Downey Jr. supposedly starring in it. And I think this is a terrible idea.
It's a terrible idea. I think
with Vertigo.
In the same way that like nobody's going to step up and make a Citizen Kane remake, I think making a Vertigo remake is similarly ridiculous, because you're just setting yourself up for people to be disappointed. Now, I have seen people point out that, yes, there are a lot of films that borrow from the Vertigo formula, including the recent Decision to Leave, which we both love. Yeah. And yes, of course. And I mean, you know, like Velvet Goldmine very obviously tips its hat to Citizen Kane, but they didn't call themselves Glam Citizen Kane, you know? So when you have a movie called Vertigo, you're just like upping the expectation to a place that I don't think anybody can get to. Also, it's apparently going to be written and directed by Stephen Knight, who made Locke, which we love. But then has also made a lot of not great movies since then.
Serenity. He did the other Serenity, didn't he?
Yes. The bonkers Serenity with, speaking of Tommy Wiseau, the Matthew McConaughey, Anne Hathaway Serenity, which is bonkers, new in the biggest way. So I don't know what to think about this, except to think bad idea. As always, like, why are we remaking classics? Remake movies that didn't work, that had a good idea that you can fix and do something cool with. Or, like, I mean, at least call it something else. You know, Living did not call itself, you know, Ikiru, which I think maybe is Japanese for living, but in English, who knows that? So, you know.
Also, did we learn nothing? Did we learn nothing from the Gus Van Sant Psycho?
Apparently not.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, and there have been a lot of cruddy Hitchcock remakes that were like made for TV over the years. There's like there's a Strangers on a Train. There's I forget, like, I think a Notorious, maybe even like for a while there in the 80s, they were just pumping them out. And it was like, they were kind of under the radar. Nobody noticed. There was that recent terrible Rebecca for Netflix.
Oh, right.
Remember? Which admittedly it's one could argue it's another adaptation of the Du Maurier novel and not technically a remake, but come on, who are we kidding?
Anyway, don't do it. And then finally, if we have little Twitter check marks next to our names, but starting April 1st, we're not going to be fancy anymore. April 1st is when Elon Musk says he's going to take away the legacy blue checks. So if we want them, we got to pay like $8 a month to have them. I will not do that.
No.
But like, how will you know that it's truly me slipping into your DMs and not some fake Christy Lemire?
Well, this just seems like one in a series of really terrible business decisions made by self-professed genius Elon Musk. I don't see what the point of it is, because now if you see the blue check, you're thinking, oh, this is somebody who thought it was a good idea to spend $8 a month for this thing, and not somebody who actually earned it by, whatever steps were required before to have one. So yeah,